It's Halloween night and the moon is bright. Let's bake something delicious tonight. Hey, come join me and let's dive into all of your top bread baking Q&As for today. All right, so it is fall time, one of my absolute most favorite times of the year. Gives you a beautiful excuse to get all dressed up. And we got the Fall Time Bread course wrapping up in all of its recording for you to go and snag and get in on the fun, festive party starting next week. Oh, guys, I've got so much bread coming out to you. Oh, it's so much fun. I'm excited. I hope you'll come and join me. Okay? All right. So today we're talking about all your top bread baking questions. And if you haven't already, my dear, make sure you swing over to millartistry.com, my website, my dear, and snag yourself a free recipe while you're over there so that you can get on my bread newsletter where you can get all the tips and the tricks and secrets that I only give to my subscribers to help make your bread baking journey just a smidgen easier. Yeah, come learn all the secret knowledge I have to baking bread. Yeah, come on, go subscribe. Seriously, go grab one of the free recipes on my website. Here on Facebook, your link is down below. All right, so I got one more page to get pulled up here. We've got to get our beautiful bread bakers up with us. Okay, so Facebook has changed a little bit, so I can't automatically just share out, and then it takes a minute for it to load and go out. So, I love you. And let's dive into today's bread Q&A. Yeah! So the top bread baking problems. Sorry. They keep changing, so I have to stop and look at where I'm going here. All right. The advancements of technology, right? Yes. All right. Okay, one moment, Ellie girl. Okay, 1 second, guys. I gotta go help my daughter really fast, and I'm coming right back. Okay, so come on, go, yeah. We want it going out. Come on. All right, so I need to pull this up. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't run off. Do not run off on me, okay? I love you. Oh, I love you. So if this is the first time we've met, my name is Crystal. I am the proud co-owner and founder of Milled Artistry. I am your resident home baker, coach, mindset coach, jewelry maker and designer, and all those beautiful woodworking witchy kitchen, magic weaving spells that go into Milled Artistry. I'm also the mom of 5 busy kids. So, speaking of kids, I will be right back, so don't run off. beautifuls. Let's dive into our Q&A. All right, so the top questions. Let me grab a seat. That wasn't a very comfortable nor graceful seat. And let me adjust you just a smidgen. There we go. Maybe. Kind of a funky angle. There we go. Okay. So, top bread baking problems that you run into as a home baker. Not just a home baker, every bread baker has these problems throughout the course of their bread baking career experience, okay? You're not alone in this, okay? You're just not. All right. So, gotta breathe. Maybe I should have some more water and some more instead of more coffee, huh? I'm not really sure I need more coffee. I just love coffee. I have a coffee problem, guys. I have a coffee problem. Okay, so the number one problem with baking a yeast bread. So I teach handmade bread. So if you're new to following me along on our baking classes and courses and all the free awesome stuff that I send out to you and just all the stuff, all the workshops, the whole works, okay? If you're new to following me along in the bread world, first let me catch you up really fast. So I started baking homemade breads about 15 years ago. And there was a whole bunch of reasons that went into that. For one, we were dead broke. We were broke. Yeah, we were totally broke. I literally could not even afford to go buy a gallon of milk. That's how broke we were. It was everything we could do, just keep our bills paid. So I went back to my roots and started diving back into old skills that my family had actually tried to teach me when I was younger. And as a kid, I was just like, why are you so old-fashioned? Like, I don't, like, come on, it's the 21st century. Come on. Like, I was all about fashion. I wanted to move to, like, I wanted to go into, like the fashion world, literally the whole fashion world. Like the whole works. I could not wait to get out of Star Valley. So I'm here from little old Star Valley, Wyoming, tucked out here in the highlands of Western Wyoming. And you know, yeah, it's really, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the people here are really amazing and ingenuitive. Good Lord. Ingenuity that you can't even skip over, okay? Incredibly, incredibly talented, gifted, and intelligent beings. And I'll tell you what, they all work themselves to the bone. Yeah. Anywho, I started baking bread all them years ago, about some 15 years ago. Actually, it's longer than that. Let's see. I got to redo my math. I've been saying 15 years for like 2 years now. So about 17 years now. And it was like we had 2 small kids at the time, like little babies. And, you know, we just bought our first home. Everything was nutsy, crazy. Everything was insanely expensive. And I was working tables. I worked tables over the course of 18 years, guys. That's what, paid our bills. I kept food on the table, a roof over our heads. My husband was constantly working as well in the truck. He still is doing the same job. And all the fun things that go along with it. Anywho, we were working ourselves to the bone just like everyone around here does, okay? It's just a way of life here. New family, like we're just this little, new family, and the whole works. Times were hard, and the cost of living here is really expensive. It always has been, and the prices are just going up and up and up and up. Like, can you relate? Like, Can you relate? Anywho, so I turned back to my roots, started baking homemade breads, and I taught myself. I taught myself how to do it out of an old cookbook. I still have that cookbook, actually. And my kids make fun of me because literally the pages are no longer even attached. I mean, it's just loose leaf papers everywhere. I put it into a binder, and even then, it's still just loose leaf, like, everywhere because all the holes are ripped out. It's stained. It's all ripped up. Like, half the pages are missing. I mean, like I have, like, half the page, literally. So, anyway, for me, learning-wise, learning from a book is one of the hardest ways in the world for me to learn. I am a person that needs to hear, I need to see, and I need to do all at the same time, which is one reason why I love sending out my teaching programs to you guys via video. Plus, you get all your downloadable recipes and your written directions, and the whole works to go along with it. So, this is kind of my way of making sure that you're getting all of your sensory learning stimulated, all right? So if you're anything like me, that's huge, and step by step, nice, simple, broke down. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so that's where I started learning. And it wasn't long after I finally mastered it, and I got over all the limited mindsets and learned how to actually do it through trial and error and more disasters than I care to even recount. Yeah. So my kids grew up on homemade bread and taking homemade lunches to school, which always consisted of a sandwich. They still do. Let's just be honest. They still do. Anywho, yeah. The stories that my family will tell you. If you happen to actually catch them, they refuse to actually come on camera with me or to say their stories out loud publicly online. They're like, Mom, but that'd be so mean. I'm like, what's the difference? You do it all the time here. Like, it's all the same, right? It's all the same. Anywho, yeah, so they're like, Mom, that'd be absolutely humiliating, and people would think that we were like the worst children in the world. Like, come tell you stories. They're funny. I laugh about them. I can look back and laugh about those, even though at the time they were heartbreaking and crushing, because I had literally poured my heart and soul into these things, and then my family was literally tossing them in the garbage on their way out the door. Or my one daughter used to actually make money off of how bad my breads were at school. Yeah. She had a running bet system going on with the other students at school as to how bad her lunch was for that day. I love my children, by the way. I love my family, by the way. But I'll tell you what, it's kind of like dagger in the heart of become a vampire. So I want to make this a whole hell of a lot easier for you, okay, sweet girl? And my sweet boys out there. I want to make this easier for you. So if you're tired of having the grind, that hardcore grind, wanting to learn how, or to get back up on that horse and try again, or in this case, back up to your bread counter and give it another try, I'm here to make that a whole lot easier for you. Because you know what? There's a hard way and an easy way to learn. And let's face it, if we can make this just a smidgen easier, honey, then we need to do that. Gotta pull this back up. My monitor keeps going to sleep over here, y'all. Yes, indeedy. Okay, so, excuse me. If if you do have questions, I want you to drop them down below in the comments. Also, if you find the information in this valuable, do me a solid favor and truly help me out and support me so I can keep showing up to teach you by hitting that share button and sending it out. Because honestly, if you want to help me, honey, if you want to support me, that is the best way you can do it. And don't forget, get on my newsletter. Why are you not on my bread newsletter? If you aren't already on it, why aren't you? You should be.
Mom.
Just saying. You gonna say hi?
Mom. Hi. I want to say your face.
Okay, we can do you up here in a little bit.
No, this is your face.
Just in a minute. Okay, so I've got two littles that are at home with me. I work from home with my kiddos. So they love the camera. They want to come say hi. And then they're going to go back and play some more. So say hi. Really fast.
And guess what? My other tooth is coming out.
Yeah, she just lost her first tooth and she's got another one that's loose. So she's super excited. All right, girls. Wave bye-bye. And then I need you to head back in and go play for a few minutes.
And guess what? If I wiggle, it gets my eyes left and right and lose my eyes. Yeah, and my teeth.
When was the last time that you looked at the world through the eyes of a child? And let that inner child and yourself out and had some fun? Hence dressing all up. I love fall time and I love the holidays because it is all about bringing out your inner child and remembering to have fun, remembering to hope and to dream because your dreams are important, okay? Your dreams are important just like everybody else's and I want you to invest in you. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, then my dear, you're never going to find success. If you want to be up in the camera, you got to be on this side first. You have to be on this side.
Mom,
Go.
It's really important. A time you may make bread out with some people at your time.
Okay. All right, girls. Mom has to teach. So let's head back to your room, and then I will get you girls all gussied up. Here, tell you what, can you guys go put your Halloween costumes on? And we're going to do a spooky Halloween thingy with our bread today. Do you want to do that with me? Can you go put your Halloweeny costumes on?
Is that a Tessie dog for us?
Whichever one you want to put on.
I want Tessie dog for me.
Okay.
My rich one.
Okay.
Tessie dog for me.
The master of distraction. Okay. Y'all are like, Crystal, shut up about all the storytelling in the past. Let's get down to the real business of it. Let's get down to the good stuff, right? Right? Okay. So, brick bread. This is a term that my kid sister coined.
My daddy wants Halloween ones.
Okay. Sounds good. Now, I need you girls to be quiet, please, okay? All right. A brick bread. Let's see. How many of you know what a brick bread is or can assume what a brick bread is? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. So, brick bread, as my little sister coined, is that dreaded bread that doesn't raise and it doesn't bake. You almost need a chainsaw to cut through the damn thing and it's still goo on the inside. Okay, that's a brick bread. Number one problem for bread bakers. Right there. That is the number one problem that you are going to have in the kitchen when you are making your homemade breads. Go get your costumes on.
Yes, I'm trying to wipe those down.
Oh.
So I'm losing my stool.
Okay, not that one though, because that one spins. Can you just take a chair or a bell? Not that one. You gotta let kids learn by their own mistakes sometimes. Just saying. Okay, so why? What causes a brick bread? Okay, first, you have a problem with your yeast. Second, you have a problem with the temperature of your liquids. Third, you have a problem with the temperature in your home. Wintertime is coming. This is going to become a real big issue for some people. Just saying. All right. Fourth, you don't have glucose in your flour or the bread that you're making, or not enough of it. Those are the 4 causes to brick bread. Now, let me tell you how to fix that. You want to learn how to fix it? Yeah? All right. Let's dive into it. So, first, temperatures. Let's talk about the temperatures of your yeast, your water, or your milk, your buttermilk, whatever it is that you're using, even if you're using beet juice, apple juice, whatever it is that you are using for your liquid. And yes, if you didn't know that, you can actually use all of those, okay? So, the temperature needs to be between 120 degrees to 130. Now, you will find a lot of other teachers, bread bakers and teachers, that say you only need like high 90s. Now, depending on where you live and the season, yes, you can get away with 90s. Like your high 90s. It's got to be like 98, like 97, 98 is about the very bottom tier that you want to ever have your liquids at. Because otherwise it's too damn cold for your yeast to wake up. Yeast is very temperature temperamental. Okay? Very temperamental. It has a very short little tiny window in which it's okay. You know, in some aspects, it's a lot like humans. We like our temperature right around 70 degrees. You know, give or take just a little bit. Some people are a little more like 68, others are like 72. That's a really small window of like actual comfort, okay? Yeast is the same way. So you can get away with 98 at the very bottom of the tier and your low hundreds, but optimal temperatures for your yeast is 120 to 130. I'm just saying. But do not go over 130, okay? Over 130 and you're going to start killing your yeast. You're actually going to burn it up, okay? Just the simple facts of it. 1 second, guys. I got to go close their doors. So hang on. All right, sorry, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, so I cannot stress the temperature of water enough, honey. I can't. So, why 120 to 130? Yeah, you want to know about that? Yeah. So, 120, 130 is that perfect sweet spot for yeast. It's like, it's no different than you. Like when you want to take a nice hot bath, you've had that long, stressful day, your muscles are just aching, and you're just like, oh, like I just need like a full body massage. I need to turn to mush in a tub. It's actually almost the same temperature. So in fact, if you don't have a thermometer to check your water, use that as a reference. That nice, good, warm bath feeling, okay? It needs to be good and comfortable and warm and almost feel hot for just a split little itty bitty tiny second, but not actually hot. If you can't keep your finger in the liquid for more than 10 seconds, it's way too hot. You're going to kill your yeast, okay? So that it's like checking a baby's bottle. Pop, pop, pop. Little sprinkle on the back of your hand. It's good and warm, but it's not hot. Beautiful. All right, go finish getting yourself ready. Okay? You can go do your hair up. Okay, so that's where you want your water at, okay? 120 to 130 degrees. That's it. All right. If it's too cold, your yeast is not going to wake up. If it's too hot, it is going to kill the yeast. No different than a person, okay? All right. So, number 2, your yeast is bad, straight from the store, or you've had it storing for too long, or, for example, depending on where you store your yeast, just so you know, the best place to keep your yeast is actually in an airtight container. You don't want moisture getting into that. Moisture in yeast, bad combo. Okay? And then store it in your freezer. The colder, the better. Okay? Because that eliminates any risk of it coming awake. And yeast has a shelf life. Okay? So make sure you're checking those expiration dates. And if you happen to get a bag of yeast that is all fluffy, like there's air inside, like it's poofy, instead of airtight sealed, don't buy it. It's just garbage. It's garbage. You're not going to get your yeast to raise with it. Simple as that. The yeast is not going to work. It's already been exposed to elements of the environment, and chances are that at least 90% of it is already dead. Been there and done that. It's not fun. Not fun. Okay, so how do you combat that? Well, for one, check your expiration dates. First, you need to brush your hair.
I already did.
Really?
Yes.
It doesn't look like it. Okay, come here. I have to finish this before we get to do our fun Halloweeny stuff, okay? There you go. All right, now go hang out in your room, okay? And help Ellie with her dress. Go help Ellie.
She said she got her clothes.
Okay, back in your room and shut your door, okay? Because the TV's loud. All right? Okay, so combat this by making your yeast starter. I show you this over and over and over again because it is my #1 secret to being successful at baking my homemade breads. Because I learned the hard way on all of it, my dear. I learned the hard way. And I want to make this easier for you, okay? That looks awesome. Can you go get your hair all brushed? Go brush your hair and make your hair all pretty, okay?
This is not be pretty.
Well, can you go brush it? Even witches brush their hair most of the time.
No, witches don't. They turn some bells.
Oh, okay. Well, all the same, go watch The Red Ghost, and I will be done here in just a few minutes, okay? And then we'll do our spooky Halloween video, okay? Spooky Halloween video. But I need you to go play. You gotta go play for just a few minutes. Oh, or you just be quiet. You can bring out your... Are you going to draw while you wait for me? Okay, in a minute. All right, so start your yeast starter. How you do that is you start with a cup of warm water, 120 to 130 degrees preferably, and add your yeast and a sweetener. Now your sweetener can be sugar, it can be honey, it can be molasses, or you can even use the actual wheat that you're baking with. Not all bread has sugar, like added sugar to it. Okay? Because your yeast has glucose in it, which is a natural form of sugar. we're going to do a spooky Halloween video here in a minute, okay? But I need you guys to behave. Okay, so my kids love to help me, and I have to make it fun for them too. Working from home, right? Okay, so glucose in wheat, okay? This is a key. This is key to know when you're baking bread, because you need to know this part. And it actually falls into the next baking problem too. So you can use actual wheat that you're baking your bread up with, add it to your water, and get your beautiful activated yeast starter going, okay? Second, or well, not second. I don't know where I'm at number-wise. Okay, next problem is that you do not have enough glucose in your bread in order to make it raise up, or you're using the wrong wheat in order, or the wrong grains, I should say, that have no glucose in them to make your bread raise. Yeast bread requires glucose. It is the actual glucose that is naturally contained inside your wheat berries that the yeast eats. Now, using sugars and honeys and molasses and all the other additive sugars that you can use for your breads are only a substitute for glucose. They're not the real deal, okay? However, if you want grandma tasting bread, use molasses in your yeast starter, okay? Just saying. Just saying. Okay? Go check it out. You gotta try it. Yeah, you gotta try it in order to learn, okay? Well, that came out completely wrong, but that's what came out of my face, so we're gonna stay with it. Okay, so let's get you enough glucose in your bread in order to actually make it raise. How are you gonna do that? First suggestion, up your kneading time. So if you are not kneading your bread long enough, you are not going to release the glucose that is trapped inside of the grain itself. Okay, so depending on the type of bread that you're making, you need to knead your bread. For a white bread, usually you can be done in about 3 minutes. White bread doesn't take very much because it's such a fine, soft wheat flour. Okay? But if you are making a cold, hard, red winter wheat bread, you've got to knead that for generally 10 minutes. Clara? No. Remember, you guys got to be quiet, okay? I feel like I have to yell over you. Okay. If you are using fresh ground, coarse ground hard red wheat, you're going to have to knead that for like 15 minutes. Simple facts of it. Okay. The type of wheat that you're using is going to make a big difference. And the harder the wheat, let me give you a little trick, a little secret that I wasn't planning on giving you. The harder the wheat, you actually want to up the amount of baking fats that you put into your bread, because you need those fats in order to make the grains slide instead of stick and make it very hard to knead. Okay, so you've got to work that glucose out. It is the actual friction and the rubbing that, combined with the liquids in your dough, that actually pull the glucose out of your wheat, okay? So, super important. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. So, knead your bread longer, or you can change the type of wheat that you're using. The harder the grain, or the coarser the grain, or the I done forgot what I was gonna say. The harder, the coarser, the bigger. I done forgot what it was that I needed to say there. Anyway, what's going on? So if you're using like whole grains, like actual whole seeds and whole berries, you're really, really gonna have to work that. Okay, and that can be exhausting because we're making homemade breads. That is physically exhausting. Been there, done that. Let's let this be easier. So here's a secret. Up your proofing on your dough. Okay? Up your proofing on your dough. Also, if you are making whole wheat breads and you're one of these people that have come and asked me, how do you get your whole wheat fluffier? That's the key right there. Additional proofing. So you can add additional proofings in there, or you can increase your proofing times, okay? So for my whole wheat breads, not the Pioneer-inspired ones, like the free recipe, but my traditional whole wheat breads that I make, those proof 3, sometimes 4 times before I bake them. And that is how you get a nice poofy whole wheat bread. It's all about the proofing. But also adding those additional proofings, like thank you, I love you. All right, so adding those additional proofings actually, you done and complimented me. Now I'm like all flabbergasted. Thank you. Okay, those additional proofings also cut your kneading time down. So when we were living on the road in the backcountry, RVing all over backcountry life, we literally were living pretty much off the land. In a sense, like we still went to the grocery store and stuff, but we did a lot of foraging. I ground all of our own flour, and we just lived on long-term food storage and our own preserved foods, okay? Anywho, so those are, I had to learn really fast that I had to change the way I was doing it, because the traditional cookbook way, essentially, of baking homemade breads didn't work in that scenario. I had to up my kneading time dramatically. I also was becoming very exhausted because I was grinding our own flour along with my family. They helped me a lot. And I was making bread every single day, along with fresh from scratch, like dried beans, the whole works, meals every single day. And we were out and about constantly. So I was generally up, like literally very, very first light. Like my eyes were open before there was even like a touch of light outside. And I would be getting the bread baked, and I would be getting everything ready for our lunches to go out on the road, the whole works. I didn't have time. I did, but okay, there's a difference between having time and the willingness to do that, okay? There's a willingness, there's a level of energy, there is also a level of the time restraints. And it's a balancing act of, it requires this much time to do something, and you have the reward. So if those are not equaled, then we have a problem. So if the reward's up here and the time, and the time is down here, that's pretty good, but there's got to be a counterbalance to that somewhere that's going to equal things out. So that means you're actually taking something away from other things, or vice versa. Now, this is what you really don't want. You really don't want it this way, where your time is, time is taking forever and the reward is minimal. That's the way this one is. This would be minimal reward, excessive amount of time. Okay, so we got to balance that out. All right, so I'm helping you cut the time and give you ample reward with the tips and the tricks that I teach you. All right, so additional proofings are going to cut your kneading time down. And it does extend the total amount of time that it takes. So there's, a give and take on everything. However, you're cutting your physical energy, your physical effort that goes into it dramatically, making it easier for you. Okay? So that's actually one reason why I have not been teaching you traditional breads lately, though. I've been teaching you how to cut everything down time frame wise, because that has been one of the biggest struggles that a lot of my home bakers have been facing this last while. They're limited by their own mindset. They're limited by their lifestyle. They're limited by how much time they physically have in order to do it. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of bread you're making. Okay, I want to rephrase that. It doesn't matter if you are making a traditional bread or, honey, you are making one of my quick yeast pioneer inspired breads, which is a dense bread, by the way. That's a very dense bread. Delicious tasting, full, hearty, fill you up. I know I'm little, but you know what? Just trust me on this one. Trust me when it comes to food. Oh. Yeah. It's delicious, okay? And it's satisfying. So when you actually fill yourself up with nutritional goodness, it's satisfying. And then you don't find yourself wanting to continue to snack 24/7 afterwards, okay? Satisfying. We want satisfying food, comforting food, feeling food. That's why I teach the dense breads, and I love it. But I also do like those fluffier breads, just like all of you, especially if we're making sandwiches. Yeah. Sandwich bread needs to be a little more fluffy. It just holds together better, okay? So those additional proofings and adjusting your kneading time or the type of your flour in order to get that nice, happy balance so that you have the time to physically do it. You have the energy and the ability to do it. It's fabulous. So, time is a big thing, which is why I haven't been showing you the long traditional breads, where they take sometimes up to 4 hours to do from start to finish. I can in just a minute. But the hands-on time, this is what I was getting at. The hands-on time is the same. It doesn't matter if you are making those dense pioneer-inspired breads or if you are making the traditional breads. It still takes, on general, about 8 minutes of actual kneading time. Yes. 5 minutes to mix.
Mom, I only can start that one.
Oh, okay. Well, here. Will you leave that up here? And I will read it to you in a minute. I'm almost finished, okay? Okay? So, that's what you need to work on, okay? And how do we do that? How do we make that time in order to make sure that we have that 15 minutes that's required? So, it takes anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. And it depends on what you have going on. So if you have no distractions whatsoever, you can actually be done absolute total hands-on time in about 13 minutes. And that's not all at the same time. I'm just saying. It's not all at the same time. So you have a few minutes to pull out all of your ingredients. You have your 8 minutes of mixing and prepping. And then you have just a couple minutes of actually going through and putting it into your pans and forming it into loaves, putting it in the oven, pulling it out of the oven, and putting it on your drying racks. Okay? Those only take maybe 30 seconds on some of those things. And they're not all at the same time. They're spread out. Okay? So you can do this. You just need to make sure that you're home during that time frame. You can't like just run off. Now, if you live close enough to town or something like that, and you all of a sudden go, oh crap, I'm out of this. There are certain times when you're during your proofing that you can actually get your bread going, set it up to proof, run to town, grab the stuff, and come back. But you've got only a 30, 45-minute window there. So you've got to make sure that you're back. Otherwise, you're going to have an explosive bread, and it's going to be oohing and gooing all over the place. And it's a mess. It's fun. My kids love it, but it's a mess. And the more messes that you have, the longer it takes to clean that crap up, right? Right? All right. So that's next. That all falls into that limited mind space and the limiting lifestyle that you have. So how do we fix that? Okay. First off, here's probably one of my biggest things I want to tell to you. Use positive affirmations. Change the words that you use and that you think to yourself. And by doing that, you actually give yourself confidence. And the more confident you are, the more capable you are. The more confident you are, the more able that you are. Because you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, there is nothing you can't do, honey. You can do anything when you believe in yourself. But you got to first believe in yourself. So give yourself that confidence. Even if all you're doing is make believe. For just that one moment, for just that one day. Make believe. Pretend to be a kid again. And believe in the magic and the fairies all the way around. Believe in all of a sudden getting that universal download that gives you superpowers. That makes you all knowledgeable. That gives you like Superman speed. Like, could you imagine how fast Superman could like actually make bread? Or Wonder Woman? Like, damn, could you imagine that? Like, I wonder how fast they could actually do it. All right, so become your own Superman or your Superwoman, okay? Because you can do that if you believe in yourself. That's the big thing. They're confident in themselves. But even they have moments when they are not confident in themselves. Simple as that, honey. As simple as that, my dear. And when they do, they lose power. And you are no different, okay? So find your confidence. And if you need, that's where my jewelry comes in, okay? Jewelry is one of the ways that I give myself confidence. Jewelry is a reflection of my heart, my soul, my personality, and my style. And when I dress authentically, it makes me feel authentically courageous. It makes me feel authentically intelligent, capable, confident. It gives me the feelings that I need in order to bring out the real authenticness of those areas of me out into the world. That's why I dress the way I do. Now, just generally, I'm not dressed like this, but I'm freaking loving this. It's fall time. We're going to have fun. I don't care what nobody says. You can love me, you can hate me, and that's your choice, and I respect it. I respect you. I do. And I believe in you. And I want you to believe in yourself too. Because when you believe in yourself, you're unstoppable. Okay. Positive affirmations. Instead of going, why does this always happen to me? It's not why is this happening to you. It's what can you do about it? How can you change it? What can you learn from it? Nothing happens in life without a reason. And sometimes we don't understand those reasons in the moments. And that is absolutely okay. Because it takes time to process that information. It takes time to go through all the emotions that go along with it. Okay? It takes time for you to change your viewpoint so that you can change the mindset that's behind it. And until you reach the bottom of your ocean, your feet hit the ground, you are going to continue to drown until your feet hit the bottom of the ocean, of your ocean, whatever that ocean is, of all the crap in your life, before you're going to come up gasping for air, fighting, swinging, and determined to live and determined to change. Clara. Clara. Hang on, guys. All right, so, the seat's getting hard. I think cushion on this chair. It's getting hard. Okay, positive affirmations, positive mindset. Positive mindset makes all the difference. It does, absolutely. It just makes all the difference, honey. It does. It does. It does. It just does. Okay, it just does. Okay, so. Hang on, guys. I tell you, guys, my systems are just not working. All right, so you've got your positive affirmations now. You're starting to believe in yourself. You're making changes in your life and in your own personal style to bring out the real you so that you're feeling confident, but not only that, you are confident and happy in your own skin. That makes a world of difference. Next, it is finding out what is truly right for you. And this is the last thing we're going to talk about today. Y'all are probably like, thank goodness, because woman, you can talk. I got to be good for something, right? I got to be good for something. Whether it's entertaining or delighting or that just sounds horrible, but or educating or talking like an endless windbag. You get me in all my flavors. Yes. No. Okay, so if you're having a problem finding the time, first, change your mindset. Look at it a little bit differently. This isn't happening to you, it happens for you, okay? That's important to remember. No matter what it is that you are facing, this is happening for you for a reason. You just simply can't see it right now. And there are times that we will never see it in our lifetime. Others around us can see it, but we can't. Okay? Just facts, I guess. Just facts. All right. Make an analysis of your daily life and write down your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. So 2 columns. Broop, broop. Okay? Now in the middle of that, you need a pros and cons. Okay? Next to your dreams and your goals, you put down what you're going to have to do to make that happen. What are the steps? What are you going to need? Okay? Look at the dream. Here's your end goal. And work it backwards. Why do we work it backwards? Because it's a hell of a lot easier to make it through a maze when you can see the finish line. Okay? It's easier to work through a maze when you can see both the start and the finish. Okay? And then you can see all the obstacles that are going to get in your way. All right? So write down the pros, the cons, your loves, your hates. Make a point to be present as you're doing it and communicate openly, unbiasedly, and without high emotions running the game with those in your life, because the decisions that you decide to make in that moment don't just affect you, they affect everyone around you. Okay? Every time you do something, it affects everybody. And I remind myself of that all the time. Because there are times that we let our emotions take control of the joystick. And it's not good. It generally does not end good. Because love is both good and bad. Love can hold us back, and it can propel us forward. No different than fear. Fear can propel us forward because we refuse to do that again. Like, I'm not going there again. No way. We're not doing that again. Or fear can hold you back and go, oh, you can't see me. Go away. Doesn't mean it goes away because you haven't faced it. Okay? So, both love and fear are things that will propel you forward, or they can actually hold you back from your destinies and reaching your fullest potential, your greatest good, your greatest reason for being here. Okay? So remember that. So if you're truly afraid of something, ask yourself why. And if it is that fear of losing a love, honey, you've got this. Remember to hold on to love simply because you love it. Do not fear losing what you don't have control over. Because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And chances are, if that one fear of yours was, okay, how to say this? Because I don't want to say always. But chances are, if you've been doing something for a long time, and you're afraid of losing that love, whether that love is a person, an animal, or a hobby, or a business, whatever it is that you do, and that love, that fear of losing that love, holds you back from truly going out and showing up and being you and doing the things in your life that you truly want to, then you are limiting yourself and you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Just the facts of it, honey. I love you. I love you. Please remember that. I love you. I love you. Okay? I want to make this easier for you. Yes, this all does tie into bread. Believe it or not, this is all bread. Okay? This is all associated with baking bread. Mindset. And the way we view things, the things that we are willing to try, even when, and to keep going, keep doing it, keep trying, even when times get hard. And not just go, I just don't want to today. That's a bad habit, by the way. Don't do that. I do that. Don't do that. I'm breaking myself of that bad habit, okay? Breaking myself of it. Because I do it too. We're all guilty of it from time to time. But you're actually holding yourself back due to fear and limiting yourself and setting yourself up for disappointment. We don't want disappointment. Okay? No disappointment. Okay? Simple as that. No disappointment. Okay? Not allowed.
Mom,
Yes.
I want myself to make a paper airplane.
Okay. Do you want the words on the inside or outside of the plane? Outside? Yeah, let's put it on the outside. Okay, so make your analysis of your daily life. What are the things that you love? What are the things that you hate? What are the things that are easy to you? What are the things that come naturally? What are the things about you that make others comment on you or your abilities, your crafts, your skills, your amazingness. Okay? Random things. Those are your superpowers, your natural superpowers. And if you amplify in on them, you double down in on them, you are actually going to make it so you simplify your life. Okay? You're going to simplify your life simply
and don't subscribe
by honing in on your superpowers.
Because your superpowers are important.
All right. So, pros, cons, loves, hates. What is your dream? What are your goals? What are the key points that you have to reach in order to reach that? When you do this, this makes it so that you can really focus in on the things that you want to do, such as learning to make homemade breads. And you can do it as often as you want to once you learn how. So it's something you can pull out when you are in that financial crunch, or you're trying to improve your health.
Mom, if
Yes.
I throw it, you open the air.
Okay, in just a second. All right. So, honey, my dear, my beautiful, I gotta go. So if you want to continue this conversation, come join me over on Instagram, and we're gonna keep talking about this. And I want you to be successful because.
Now you say,
Wow, that's beautiful. Those are really amazing hearts. Beautiful. Thank you. Now let's play it. Should we play it? He keeps doing the most stuff. Mom doesn't like if I go to airplane. All right, so come join me over here on Instagram here in probably about a half hour, because I got to tend to my kids for a little bit. Yes, I can. And I'm going to go find like a pad for this chair before I come and sit back down again. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Mom, now we try it again.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, so if you are not already on our bread newsletter, go grab a free recipe off my website. This is just my little gift to you because I love you and I want you to start putting success in baking your homemade breads today, not tomorrow. I want you to change your life today for your greatest good, to bring out your own inner confidence and inner power and find the true amazingness of you today, not 40 years from now, not next year, not next week, but I want you to start doing it today because you deserve it. You deserve to have all the amazingness. Just a second.
If I bring this milk, you need to read it.
Okay, but you gotta wait. Gotta wait your turn. Patiently. I want you to be successful.
I will bring.
So when you.
Mom, I want to bring the milk to them.
Okay, in just a sec. Okay, in a second. We're not just gonna show that one to the world. Like that's from somebody else. Okay. So change mindset with your bread baking. So instead of going, I don't know if I can do this. Oh, but it's so hard. Oh, but what if I screw it all up? Mess ups happen. Making a mess is part of baking homemade breads, guys. Just a second, Ellie. I'm getting it together for you. All right, it's part of baking. Making a mess is part of baking. But that doesn't mean that you have to make a mess of your life in the process. Let it be easy. Reaffirm yourself. Give yourself a high five every now and then in the mirror. Thank you, Mel Robertson. Check it out. If you haven't ever heard of the High Five Challenge, check it out. I'm just saying. It's actually pretty awesome. Simple little thing that you can do all the time. Not affiliated or anything like that. Just a personal thing that I found aid in. Okay? So, check it out. Mel Robbins is like one of the most powerful superpower, like woman house, like speakers. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Mel Robinson is just amazing. So, I'm going to move on now. When you have your affirmations of your daily life, start limiting all the ones that the weight of the cons outweighs the pros. If they're not equal or lesser than, it has no place in your life. So tweak that just a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of it, but tweak it just a little bit. Instead of doing it here, do it here. Instead of putting all your devotion into this one thing, spread that out just a touch. You do a little bit here, do a little bit here, bake a little bit of bread in the mix of it, you know. So start your bread, and while it's proofing, go work on that, and then, you know, hey, that bread's calling you, honey, come get me finished, come meet me up. Swing back, do your bread, then you can go back to do that thing. After you have found all that beautiful zen and wonderfulness from baking your homemade breads with diving your hands into that nice soft gooey dough and just crafting up all the magical, loving, comforting, and nourishing yumminess for your heart and your soul and your belly, like really. Then you can go back to doing that thing that you hate doing, that you have to dedicate so much time to. And you're going to find that you're more focused, more clear-headed.
Mom,
that you're more punctual,
Mommy,
that you are more able
Mommy, this is this.
to actually do the job
Mom,
in half the time.
This like this.
Yes. Okay. Oh my goodness, I love it. Give me 5. Woo! All right, so guys, I gotta head out. If you are I gotta head out. So swing over and join me on Instagram here in a little bit if you want to continue this conversation or catch the replay. And if you are catching the replay, please make sure you pound that replay button. It really helps me show up at the opportune times and moments for you guys so I can tweak my schedule just a little bit to better serve you, because I want to be here to help you, because you are the reason I'm here. So go grab your free recipe, meltartistry.com. And do me a favor, while you're over there, take a second and hit that donation button on the website and go help out one of our local families. We are all about, Milled Artistry is all about helping others through our crafts, through our skills, through our platforms. That includes our own neighbors, our own friends, and those that we know that are in times of need. So take a second, go do the humanitarian, the good witchy, good things for others and pay it forward for those times when it's going to be you on the other side. Okay? I love you. I will see you over on Instagram here in about... Here in about at least a half hour. I'm going to be a little late getting on Instagram over there. But until then, I love you. Start baking. Why are you not baking bread? Why are you not baking bread? Start baking your bread. Grab your free recipe. Help out a fellow human and some adorable itty bitty miniature little tiny babies and their family, because they need you. And you are the one that makes the difference. It's not everybody else, it's you. Because you're important. And without you, this whole damn thing ain't gonna work. Okay? Take care of yourself. Value yourself. Because you're amazing and you deserve to be happy, to be healthy, to be loved, and to live a life of freedom in your true, confident, amazing, beautiful, authentic skin, and be proud of it. I love you.